here to give you support and tolerance until my dying days. I ain't freaking gay, you idiots. I'm addicted to meth. What? Dick for money, okay? I'll let them do whatever they want to me as long as they got cash. Money, meth, money, meth. That's what I do. I'll f*** anyone here.
I'm gonna lose my virginity to Jojo Vanetti.
Why don't you just lay down for a minute, okay? I'm sorry.
Russ, I can't find my butthole.
It's in the middle of your butt, Lester. What do you think it is? I freaking told you a million times.
Look at y'all, all nasty and covered in cuts and shit.
I had a man in the crevice of my right in the so I took his and I him until he bled.
Oh, God.
What?
Meanwhile, I'm so close, don't even give a fuck that I'm broke, cause in my mind I'm rich.
Is it okay to be poor and happy?
Everyone's gay but me. I'm trying to have an emotional conversation with you.
It's a serious question, but before y'all go having an opinion about it, let's take Unsupervised, for example. A show that can only be described as a lower class King of the Hill.
What the?
Give me your power. I want your power.
You sure about that?
Its entire premise is grounded in towing the poverty line under adults who widen the profit margins of their government assistance checks by totally neglecting their dependents.
You're my dependent. I get aid from the state. $150 a month. I ain't giving that up.
Making them independent dependents, hence unsupervised. Bada boom, Joel.
Dad, feel that wind, man. What is that?
It's air conditioning, and we get that every day, and it's not that big a deal.
Bada bing, Harry.
No, guys, it ain't about air conditioning. It's about getting a good education.
Lord knows you need it. They dumb, alright? But put it this way, nobody's ever claimed being smart makes you happy, right? In fact, I'd argue smart people suffer more because they think too much and they think they can think their way out of any situation, only to realize trying to rationalize crippling depression while depressed literally induces more depression. So to a certain extent, I don't think you can change how smart you are, but you can change how much money you make, right? But if we accept that money doesn't make you happy, is it okay to be poor but still happy?
I feel like dancing right now.
Do it, man. Bust it.
Oh my God, he's got a giant boner!
Check it out. He's hard as hell.
I don't like this angle. Try the other one.
Hold up.
You don't know me, but I know you.
Wait,
I
nah.
want to play a game.
Nah, bro, I'm not into none of that freaky stuff.
It's called You Were Never Poor.
Wait, oh, I've played this before. Alright, so word.
And guess what else? Those are engines. They're AC units that provide everyone else with fresh, cool air.
Then where are the engines that power the school?
Nowhere. Turns out, schools don't need freaking engines.
Yeah, so if you never slept in the same room with like 5 other people because that was the only air-conditioned room in the house, you was never poor. If you never had to use the oven to keep your house warm, fortunately for you, you was never poor, dog.
Yo, we gotta get on the internet more.
I know, I've been saying this for years, but we got no computers.
If you never went through a period with no internet access or cable simultaneously, you were never poor.
I want to get an internet installed in my brain,
What?
so I wouldn't be stupid no more. Russ, what are you doing here? I got nits, man.
What are nits?
Dude, he's got bugs living in his head. They're laying eggs in my skull.
Oh, that's dicked out, yo.
Joe, you probably got them too, man.
Alright, let me slow up, because maybe having lice isn't a qualifying factor. But I almost considered it, nigga, like, if you've never had lice.
I can get prescriptions now. I've been selling painkillers.
And you should be, because people are in pain and they need relief.
If you've never had someone trying to sell you prescription drugs unsolicited, guess what? You were never poor. Let's reel it back in, because I don't need to go on about something that is ultimately a subjective opinion. What I will say is Unsupervised is one of my favorite animated shows because it illustrates a realistic take of poverty from a white American's perspective. Poverty in America is a paradox, and no matter how smooth your brain is, you probably understand why it's paradoxical for the supposedly wealthiest country to also contain a homeless population in the millions. Unfortunately, when you Google these statistics, it's either a blatant lie or an underestimation at best. If you've really been to any major city in America and observed the destitute population, then you'll understand what I'm saying. There's no way there are only 500,000 homeless people in existence. Like, it's laughable. Google, you're a comedian now. Meanwhile, our fucking prison population is pushing 2.5 million. According to prisonpolicy.org, 15% of that population will experience homelessness. That's roughly like almost 400,000 people. Obviously, not every homeless person goes to prison, right? You got homeless children, homeless women. They're usually roaming the streets, too busy, I don't know, not having shelter. So again, it's fully beyond me why Google would start out these random stats as if we can't cross-examine or just observe that it's a complete fabrication.
Sometimes I lie to get attention.
So frankly, almost 500,000 people from the prison population alone have experienced homelessness. Haven't even mentioned the veteran population. Another group that's overrepresented in these stats. It's embarrassing.
Russ, I can't find my butthole.
It is absolutely not okay to be financially poor, but emotional or interpersonal poverty corrodes your life expectancy just as handily.
You can have any man in the world. You're Prince Charming, he's out there, he's waiting for you. You just need to go out and find him.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Gary and Joel are a great case study because they demonstrate how being positive and pursuing happiness at all costs nothing.
If this kid can achieve his dreams, we all can! I'm blind!
And then I think more important is service. Serve others. Preferably starting in the home, not some exotic like going to Africa to like feed the poor. Like how about being nice to your wife? How about that? So charity starts in the home and all that kind of stuff, you know? So that you build the karma. I don't use a mental trick or a philosophy. I do. Are you depressed? Serve others. No such thing as depressed and serving others. They cannot coexist. I think this is fundamental.
Obviously, this statement is counterintuitive, but instead of getting your panties all wadded up, go ahead, put on your thinking caps. I won't judge you. Go ahead, put on your thinking cap. I can't force you. This concept is rooted in Buddhism, and it's synonymous with the Christian phrase, love thy neighbor like thyself.
Who the hell are you?
Just a neighbor who cares.
And he's a good man.
He's the one with the telescope who looks in my window.
What? No, I'm a bit of a stargazer is all.
I agree with the Christian take, ideally, but I think the latter part of the sentence is missing something. Because if you don't love yourself, then you can't love thy neighbor. So I felt compelled, because look, all religions kind of say the same thing. So I took a look at the Quran, and they have an interpretation of this same idea. Quote, "It is not love thy neighbor, but love for thy neighbor. The object of man's love being beyond mankind, because it is in God." As the eminent medieval theologian Al-Ghazali, sorry if I mispronounced, wrote, "Only God is the one who deserves love. Man's love for himself leads directly to God, since every man owes his existence to God." So in lay terms, if you love and serve others, you are loving yourself indirectly through God. Compared to being content or happy, depression can be a bottomless pit where you can't simply pull yourself up by the bootstraps, but you can take a moment to self-reflect. I cannot stress this enough. You can always self-reflect. Don't let anyone try to take that away from you. And progressively, after an ample amount of self-reflection, you can take a moment to appreciate and treat others as you would like to be treated. Mind you, this is just one of many different ways you can approach depression. It is a practice. It is not a pill. Just like when you're out of shape, you may exercise to improve your body. Well, the same goes for your mind and brain. Exercise in this case would be, again, expressing love for thy neighbor in the form of servitude. Thy neighbor qualifying as not one person or a group of people, or let me join a cult and serve the one leader because I'm vulnerable and depressed. No, serve literally everyone you come into contact with. Like, open the door for someone, give out compliments, help an elderly person cross the street, like anything empathic. It's an exercise of being empathic.
I cried in front of him 1,000,000 times, and it don't even matter.
All these things are absolutely free, and you must put in the mental work if you truly intend intentionally to be happy. I know that's redundant, but keep in mind, if your intentions are not pure, there's no reward. That's karma for you. So to take it back to Buddhism, you have to understand that you are not your thoughts. These things are, sometimes they're intrusive. They just get to you if you let them. So understand, you are not your thoughts. If you do not think, it's not like you dissolve into the ether, you're still you. You have to differentiate yourself and find yourself back into that spot where you can be content at enough to just self-reflect or at least give out some sort of positive energy into the world. Because if you do the negative thing, you're just gonna wallow, I guarantee you.
People say you can do anything you set your mind to. That's a bunch of bullshit.
I'm gonna keep it real. This next couple seconds is freestyling a little bit because I'm cutting this part of the script. Reason being, the nature of Unsupervised as a show resonates closely with concepts of stoicism and minimalism. This is because they're poor.
I never think about my future, man.
Nah, me neither. I just think about what's going on in this exact second.
cents, 20 cents.
You only need basic necessities in life, and if you're a grown adult and have ownership and respect for yourself, you know what those things are, bruh. They don't cost that much money.
Does money buy happiness? How has money changed sort of your contentment, your happiness in life?
Money buy happiness? No, not. I mean, to a point, yes. Once you can take care of your health, you can take care of like any immediate dangers, and you can take care of your family relatively. No, it doesn't.
Most of the time, we think we need something that we actually, it's not a necessity. But then we have grown adults, you know, basically being had by objects and possessions and all this extra ish that doesn't really matter.
You don't have anything, you're nothing. And you will be dead. You're not even a citizen of the United States.
Also, get over yourself. Stop vexing yourself. Be real with yourself. I don't claim to be Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, minimalist, Stoic, whatever. Like, I'm just letting you know they all offer something.
I don't get no goddamn allowance.
Me neither. We've been wearing the same clothes for years. Don't y'all outgrow stuff? That's what the sewing kit's for. You can adjust it to any size you want. I'm like my own tailor.
I haven't grown in ages.
So to go back to the show, the main reason Joel is so damn happy is not because he has lice, not because he wears hand-me-down underwear. It's because he actively seeks happiness.
Yeah, go outside, run around, sing a song, fall in love.
Same with Gary.
Come on, darling. I want to be peaceful. Stop being so goddamn negative.
But they still recognize that they're poor since they're genuinely missing basic necessities. Unsupervised is a show about perspective to me. The show focuses on people who deserve basic necessities, but they have no access to it. But even living in squalor, they still find happiness.
Piece of shit!
This is why I posed the question, is it okay to be poor and happy, and not, is it possible to be poor and happy, right? Because we all know that, yeah, of course.
It's in the middle of your butt, Lester. I don't think it's there anymore. Get on to the house, Lester.
Ugh, I can't believe people live in there. This home is literally broken.
But my answer to the question is no. It's not okay to be poor and simultaneously just because you're happy. Necessities are tantamount, so whether it's mental or strictly financial, poverty is undesirable. In America, and really most Western civilization, if capitalism is the disease, which it totally is, then materialism is the main symptom. We're so privileged, we hoard objects, we hoard possessions, because we misplace value into things instead of valuing each other.
Stop selling them phones that's wired to the federal government. That's what I'm gonna tell you.
Okay, have a good day.
Nah, fuck a good day. Make it a bad day. Hey, yo, my outlaw niggas. Twist these niggas.
If you try to control what's out of your control, it will control you. So all those possessions that you run after and all those cars and fancy clothes, they're possessing you. Let them go. You don't need it anyway. When I was a child, I needed a father. Right? I didn't have one though. I was poor in that department.
And over there in that empty chair is where my dear old dad usually sits.
Now that I'm an adult, I still don't have a father. That hasn't changed, but the mindset has changed for me. I'm no longer poor in that department.
Is this supposed to make him not want it? Myself?
Kind of become my own father. That's why it's still dad.
My dad doesn't look anything like your dad. The mouth looks like an asshole.
This is just to demonstrate that you can lift yourself out of poverty simply by changing your mind state.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Again, if it's not a physical thing you're needing, a necessity, something like water, it's not that big of a deal. Stop making it a big deal. You'll be much happier for it.
I guess I'm dead then.